Before I joined Cashflow Tribe, I would go to these meetups and nothing really changed. There was no accountability, which is one thing that's really core to Cashflow Tribe. Not only did you have this intense sense of community, but you also had accountability.
I was working for somebody else that was not me. Okay, this 9-to-5 rat race that I'm trapping, I don't like it. I know something is bigger there for me.
Cashflow Tribe has been some serious practitioner information that I was able to tap into. I knew I needed to take it to a higher level.
Cashflow Tribe was Canadian, and that's what really kind of moved me more towards them. This is exactly the kind of group and people that I want to be part of.
If somebody's losing in one of my deals, I don't want to do the deal. If I cannot have my partners to win on the deal as well, I don't want the deal.
My name is Douglas.
My name is Tish.
My name is Alex, and I am.
And I am.
And I'm Cashflow Tribe.
Cashflow Tribe.
Cashflow Tribe. Huh.
Welcome one, welcome all. I hope you're doing well. We are here. We are live with Masterclass number 3. I hope you are doing super well. Let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from. Where are you located? Because I know we got a lot of people all over Canada. So really looking forward to really connecting with each and every one of you. And so I want to say hi to Ariel, say hi to Karim, Trudy, Steven. What is going on, my man? Leandra. We got Ryan in the house. Carolina, oh man, come on, let me know where you're tuning in from. I want to say hi to Natalia, to Brett, Denise, Shane. Good to see everybody. Ramona, Myrene, man, we got people from Toronto, Hamilton, Mississauga, Calgary. Okay, Steven, we got people from all over. That's awesome. The GTA, Halton Hills. My man Ledford said the 416. I love it. Port Perry in the house. I love it. Keep it coming in. We want to engage with you. Listen, we are looking to give you results because the reality is we don't just come to Cashflow Tribe just to understand what real estate is about. We come to Cashflow Tribe because we want to get in the game. We want to change our family tree. We want to do different things that's really going to set ourselves up for success in the future. So with that said, this is just simply a homework session. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just a time for us to connect so that we can understand what obstacles we need to overcome, how to overcome them so that we can get forward on moving on our first or next deal. And so we got people from Markham and Montreal, Oak Bank, Manitoba. What's up, my man? Ryan, that's awesome. And Sansa from Hamilton, Windsor. That's great. So I do have a question for you. Just let me know, is this your first time on this masterclass? And if you're familiar with Cashflow Tribe, just fill out that poll. Let me see. I want to know who I'm engaging with today, who I'm connecting with today. Really appreciate you, every one of y'all. I got to do a special shout out to my man, Vinny, who's working in the background, doing what we got to do, making it work and making it all come together. So Vinny, just shout one time hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Come on, man. That's my man, Vin. And so for those who have been waiting, we do have my man, Ben, coming to you. He's going to be giving you the hop number 3. Okay. This is a 12-week masterclass. So we're going to be going through a series of 12 steps to doing your first or next deal. And so I hope you got your pen ready. I hope you got your paper handy because we're going to be taking some notes and we'll be having some action steps for you to apply so that you can actually get moving to your deal. Okay. We don't want you to just be a theoretical session or just something we're thinking on. I want you to actually take these steps away and be able to apply them to your real estate investing journey so that you can actually make progress. Okay. Practice makes progress. Okay. And so definitely fill out that poll. We see for your first time. Wow, a lot of people in the first time. That's awesome. Really looking forward to engaging with you. Listen, our goal is very simple. We just want you to build momentum as we move into 2021. Listen, we're already in month number 2. So we got to keep going. We got to get going right now. We got no time to waste. So without further ado, I got to bring on my man. His name is Ben Muresan. He's been a real estate investor, a business owner, been in this game for over 10 years. I think it's maybe about 12 or 13 years. He could tell you he's been in this game. He's been through multiple market cycles. He understands the principles of investing with regard to real estate. And so I hope you guys are ready. Let's welcome Ben in the chat. Ben, are you ready and are you here?
Yo, let's go. Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Good afternoon. Nice to see everybody here. Hey, I'm excited as we keep going on this topic. Give me a quick thumbs up. Appreciate that. If you guys let me know everybody's here, everybody's awake. Thank you, Daniel Blagrove, my partner, as we keep moving forward here and sharing the good news, the gospel of real estate, if you will. My daddy was a preacher, so I like preaching about abundance, growth, and everything else. But today I want to jump right into it. Make sure everybody's muted in the background. We got Cousin Vinny here. Hey, Cousin Vinny. Everybody muted? I hear some breathing. It's a little creepy. All right. Let's get right into this. Let's pull up the slide deck and go into it. Everybody got me. Hello. What's up, Terrell? What's up, Parham? What's up, Colton? What's up, Chantel? What's up, Natalia? Some of you guys, really, really cool. What's up, Kareem? What's up, Justin? Ben? Hey, guys. Hey. What's up, Fumi? Good to have you guys here. Okay, let's get right into this. I'm going to go through the slides here. We got a few things, and then we got some homework for everybody because and just to give you a little bit of breakdown why we're doing this, we understand that going from the zero or information stage to getting your first deal is pretty complicated. There's a lot of moving parts. So before I jump into that real quick, most of you guys know who I am, and if you don't, welcome. I'm a to-the-point, no bullshit kind of guy, and I hope you can resonate with that. And if you can't and you get it easily offended, I'll try not to offend you with the truth. Is that okay? All right. So I bought my first house at 21, getting 100% financing, became a landlord, got about 21 doors before we sold them. My wife and I started getting aggressive into real estate at about 24 years old. Since 24 years old, I'm now 35. That's 11 years ago. We've bought hundreds of deals, flips, landlording gigs. We started a private mortgage company, and we've just done quite a bit in Canada. And then my partner and myself, Matt McKeever, we co-founded Cashflow Tribe, which is my favorite online real estate community in Canada. And if you're not a member, join. And if you are a member, welcome. Good to have you guys here. What's up, Erica? All right, that's enough about me. You guys don't want to hear about me all day. Hey, we got a free gift, but there's a big question mark. Cousin Vinny, I think this is the wrong slide deck. Cousin Vinny's going to swap this out while we get going here real quick. I do have a free gift for you guys. Danny Blagrove, what is the free gift while people are waiting for the bright slide deck to come in here?
The free gift, ladies and gentlemen, is a landlord starter kit for those who are looking to get started in investing and they want to understand, listen, I've never been a landlord before. If I can get a boost on how to do real estate investing via landlording, we have a special kit for you done by Matt McKeever, which is Ben Muresan's co-founder of Cashflow Tribe. And so really looking forward to getting that package to you, because if you're looking to get some rental properties, he's going to talk about all different things that you need to consider when it comes to managing, owning, and taking control of your property. You don't want to be the landlord where the tenants take control of you. You want to be the landlord that lords over your land. You feel me? That's the free gift.
Dude, that's pretty good. You want to be the landlord that lords over your land. Oh man, that's actually kind of nice. I like that. You guys like Daniel's cheesy humor? I think it's awesome. So we'll give Cousin Vinny a second to throw the slide deck back up here. So really, really cool. So we're going on to hop 3. If you recall, before we jump into this, hop 1 was really about understanding the market fundamentals to help you guys get clarity about where to get started. So understanding the basic strategies and all that kind of stuff. The crazy thing about strategies and complexities and information is sometimes we get into information overload and we learn way too many things and we really don't move forward. So the whole mission statement here of what we're trying to put together is really breaking down everything into very bite-sized chunks. And as a regard, it's so straightforward that you can take the next gradual step week over week. So in the comments, let me know real quick, who's been here from the start? You've actually seen the last 2 weeks of information and training. Let me know. Give me a quick, here we go. If you haven't, just tell me newbie in the comments. No worries, Cousin Vinny. We'll bear with you for a minute to get the right one uploading it here. So if you're a newbie here, what we're going to do is go back to the beginning. We'll have this stuff for you. We've got the recordings and stuff as well from the previous sessions. Getting clarity is so important, folks, because a lot of times, because we don't really have clarity about what we truly want, or because we don't really know what direction we want to go in, again, not knowing what we want, we're not really going to make any movement whatsoever. We're actually going to be very fearful. We're going to be reluctant to take action. And as a result, we're just going to play small instead of playing in a way which we win. So a lot of people play not to lose. They don't play to win. Does that make sense to you guys? What's up, Brett? What's up, Ben? So we need to start playing to win, and we need to check the box and move forward in our business week over week, gaining more and more confidence because we're getting the right clarity about what we need to do. Okay, beautiful. All right, so tonight's free gift, the Landlord Starter Kit, fantastic. Let's go here. So I want to help you guys understand the realistic step-by-step process of where we need to go. Break it down so small that it becomes literally a very bite-sized chunk, and if we do that, you guys are more likely to do the actual work. All right? Some of you guys know we're traveling this week, so Andrea and I, somehow we ended up wearing exactly the same outfit. I didn't even think this was possible, but I'm catching you guys up with the humble life. Is this lame or is it straight game? Maybe throw that in the poll real quick. Blake Grove, I don't know, man. Is this lame or game? I think it's fire right there.
Come on, man. Doesn't get better than that.
Dude, it doesn't get more matchy than that matchy, okay? Also, I got Allison here from Cashflow Tribe for the week. We've been rolling. We've been doing deals. We've been like making stuff happen. And here's us here in our executive boardroom suite doing deals from Sarasota. So those of you that are tracking with us on the road, if not, in the comments at Ben Humble CEO on Instagram, you guys can track with us as we travel and do deals. And by the way, your boy got a haircut looking fly. Check out this little hair tat. This make even Daniel Blagrove's game look weak because this is where it's at. And then this has been the holy hamburger of the week. Those of you guys know we've been eating out, making cool meals happen. There is an egg on this burger. It is pretty good. Thank you, Erica, sharing the food pics with you guys because everybody likes a good food pic. Okay, do me a favor. I want you to turn off distractions, turn off your Facebook, turn off your kids if you can. We want to pay attention. I'm going to go through stuff kind of very progressively and quickly. We'll start basic, then we'll get more advanced. So I want you guys to really get dialed in. Promise time, no bullshit. I'm not going to bullshit you. You don't bullshit me. If I have a question or a poll, do me a favor, do you a favor, just answer it. Is that cool, guys? All right? Just be honest with me, be open, because I don't want to just teach a bunch of stuff if you already know it. I'd rather get right to the point, the meat and potatoes, so that we're actually moving forward. Cool? All right, we're going to uncover some truths today, uncover some stuff. So it may be new to you. I'm going to challenge some of your beliefs. So let me recap real quick. This whole series is about taking what I call a hop theory. So going from information to closing your first deal is a pretty big hop. So our goal here is to basically break it down into smaller micro hops. And as a result, we'll be able to like identify the immediate thing in your way so you can go to step 2 and then step 3 and then step 4. All right. So for those of you that are brand new, this is what the hop theory is all about, is small gradual steps to success. In the first couple of weeks, we covered understanding fundamental concepts. We covered identifying your personal investing roadmap. We also covered develop basic skills and building confidence. And we've actually done the homework on this. We had small little homework groups with Daniel Blagrove. So if you missed the homework groups, we'll have this stuff for you guys later. If you're just joining us today, you're not missing anything. In fact, you just have 2 weeks of homework to catch up. We'll have all the homeworks and recordings for everybody here. Is that cool? Everybody who's in Cashflow Tribe, who's in Premium, will have access to this stuff so you can move forward. All right? So what we're going to focus on today, in today's class, is really about finding and evaluating the deals, because that's a big challenge for a lot of people. So a quick recap, and then we'll get into it. Number 1, understanding the fundamental concepts really comes down to, folks, is understanding the market cycles of where the business is and where the real estate market is. You have to understand that it goes up and it goes down, and I won't cover this too much because we already did this in previous weeks, but understanding the strategies based on active versus passive. So if you recall from week 1, we talked about as the market moves, you have to pivot and change and develop an investment thesis. Okay, that's the key word here, an investment thesis based on an overall philosophy, and that comes back right to your goals, which is based on a SMART goal, specific, measurable, right, time-bound, something that we can actually tether to, okay? Hop on week 2, what we talked about was actually creating your personal roadmap as it ties to SMART goals, so really creating alignment between the underlying strategies. You learn so many strategies out there, and the problem with so many strategies is you don't know which one is right for you. So we just pretty much do nothing most of the time, right? Or we play so small, we don't really get any real results. So if we can align what you actually want, get clarity about it, then we can actually move forward and start executing on the strategies that matter. Now, number 3, basic skills. We covered this hop as well in week 2, which was the negotiation and the evaluation. Guys, here's what I'm going to tell you. Most people who actually want to buy properties and they don't have the skills, they don't have the negotiation and the evaluation skills, that is probably the single greatest thing you can do to build your confidence, is build your skill set. And there's a little bit of the script that we covered last week. We were building the actual scripts in the homework session that we did together. So if you missed that, then we can come back to that, in the next homework segment. But so this is what we've covered so far. Okay. Today we're going to really focus on finding deals. So I'm going to set the tone for you guys on what finding deals really looks like and how we understand what a deal is. Who's ever been stuck on, throw this in the poll, what is a good deal? Who knows what is a good deal, number one? Doesn't know what a good deal is, number two. Daniel, throw that in the poll for me so I understand where people are at here, okay? Let me help you guys understand the essence of deal making. And in order to do that, we have to break down active versus passive, cash versus cash flow. If you want to label yourself an investor, I truly believe your investment thesis has to actually hold that piece of property or be willing to hold it for a minimum term of 5 years. The investor really has three fundamental things that create the investment. Number one, the theory of a rising tide lifts all boats, meaning you have to be in the market so that the appreciation of the market can lift the overall value, the intrinsic and extrinsic value of your property. If you're not holding real estate, you're truly not investing. If you're not in there and benefiting from appreciation, I think you're violating one of the key principles of investing and one of the key benefits of compounding growth, which is the appreciation. So let's just frame that real quick. If you're holding for the long term, that would be an investment thesis. Number two, cash flow. It looks like many different things, but the whole purpose of cash flow is to essentially cover the operational ownership and holding costs and generate a premium over and above that, which you can use to reinvest back in the property, or you can use it to invest in your own lifestyle. Nevertheless, producing a healthy cash flow is another investment principle that would tie back into a long-term passive investing thesis, okay? The third thing here is really in debt arbitrage. If you buy a property and you hold it for 25 years, you have tenants in that property, then the principle is that the tenants, or the theory is that the tenants will pay down the debt, allowing the debt to convert to equity. Does everybody make sense of this? Grab a piece of paper if not. So the debt needs to convert to equity. If you have those three metrics in play, I would say you're investing. If you're using real estate as a medium of exchange, meaning you're getting into real estate and getting out of real estate, if you have a 6-month window or less, you're flipping properties, you're wholesaling properties, you're buying and selling deals, you're truly not investing, you're engaging in an active business. Your real estate isn't really a real estate as it is inventory. So we have to understand the difference between an active business and investing. Is this making sense so far, guys? The active business has two main price points. There is what we call the strike price, the bid, and the ask. Our job as short-term business owners in the field of real estate isn't to predict the market, because there's nothing you'll be able to really predict in the short-term viewpoint. You can't take a 3-month investment thesis and go, okay, it's going to go up in the next 3 months, so I'm going to invest in real estate. No, my friend. You're making a speculative bet and assuming it's going to go up in the next 3 months based on the data that you have, but you're not investing. You're essentially speculating. Because if it goes down, remember, you're violating the principle of investing, which is a long-term positioning in the market, which rides up. So let's just call it what it is. Let's you and I stop guessing the prices. Let's you and I stop trying to be the market maker. Let's you and I stop trying to predict where the market is heading and simply do this. You be the conduit, you supply the demand. You're no more an investor as you are the owner of a hardware store. If you know somebody's willing to pay $5 for hammers, your job is to buy the hammer for less and sell the hammer. Making sense? Okay? No different than being a barista or having a coffee shop someplace. If you ask the customer, what would you pay for a cup of coffee? And they say $1, your job is to simply get the coffee for less than $1. Our job as a business owner isn't to set the price of coffee. We're not the market maker. We don't say coffee is $1 and now you have to go and you have to pay $1. Our job is to go, what are you willing to pay for coffee today? My job is to go and get it for less. Your job in real estate flipping, your job in real estate wholesaling is to simply go, What are you willing to pay for real estate today based on the fluctuating market? And our job is to get it for less. Can you see how reverse engineering this approach will actually make your life considerably easier? Huh? Can you guys see that? How you can considerably make your life that much easier by simply not having to create the market or guess the market. How hard is it for you to make offers if you don't know what they're going to sell for? How hard is it for you to buy real estate if you simply don't know what the exit strategy is going to be? What if I told you you never have to worry about exit strategy if you're in the short-term game, because you don't have to create the market, you simply have to engage in it? Making sense? So write this down. It's not about timing the market. It's not about timing the market. It's about time in the market. If you're an investor, you need to be in the market, not trying to time the market. Okay? So investing for cash flow, let me look at an example. This is the only real kind of evaluation that matters. Regardless of today's price, we need to evaluate every deal based on a minimum 5-year investment thesis. So if I buy a duplex, let's say it makes $200 a month, times 12 months is $2,400, times 5 years is $12,000 of profit, cash flow. 5 years of debt repayment, a simple $100 per month, assuming we had a tiny mortgage, would be $6,000. If we take a nominal appreciation of 3% per annum, which is very logical over the course of 20 years, we'll have a $30,000 appreciation goal on a 200K asset. So our actual growth would be $48,000. If we bought the property for $200,000 and we put 20% down, then we would have a $40,000 down payment, which means that over the course of the 5 years, we'd have 120% return on C. What does C stand for? Anybody want to know? What is ROC? Return on capital. Okay? So 40 grand, we've made 120% return. That is investing, my friends. Okay? The other thing is not investing. So let me give you the theory of supply and demand as it relates to business. Are you guys loving this? Give me a poll real quick. You got a lot of polls on the go. Let's start these polls. Give me a poll real quick. Are you loving this? Yes, or I'm lost, confused, I hate you. No. Cool? All right. And if anybody says that, feel free to exit stage left. Okay, finding deals. Supply versus demand, guys. So number one, determine the demand by asking your buyers. This is the way that I would always start my business. When I started flipping houses, when I started wholesaling aggressively, instead of trying to figure out what the market was willing to pay, I simply went and asked the market what they're willing to pay. So let me give you an example. If the market right now is hot, who's in a hot market? Give me a thumbs up or something if you're in a hot market. Okay, if you're in a hot market, then everything is selling for over asking price. Then it's fair to assume that the fair market value, what things are selling for the average, okay, the fair market value would be the retail price. At minimum, it's the retail price. So what we know, guys, is that the retail buyer, this is mom, dad, sister, whoever, the average consumer is willing to pay 100 cents on the dollar. You guys follow me on this? So if it's a $100,000 property, the retail buyer who goes to the bank, who saves 20% down, willing to pay 100 cents on the dollar, they'd be willing to pay $100,000. Why? Because they're using it for their personal needs. And when people use things for personal needs, they pay full price. This is what typically happens, okay? So if you're going to go to Starbucks and it's for your own personal need, you're just going to pay full price, and there you go. All right, makes sense? I love the comments, by the way, guys. I'm seeing them all come in. So we'll take some Q&A at the end, but love these comments. Love the participation. The landlord, understanding that he has a long-term hold, okay? The landlord maybe is only willing to pay $95,000. He's not quite that price sensitive. You see a lot of landlords even paying 100 cents on the dollar because they have a long-term perspective. See, they're not just looking at the instant equity capture. They're looking at all the other factors we just talked about. The flipper has a short-term capital improvement. So he's focused more on the ARV. So he still needs to get it for less than the landlord, okay? So the longer-term viewpoint, the more they're willing to pay. Do you guys understand this? The wholesaler is by far the most price sensitive because that wholesaler is simply a speculator. So if that wholesaler, if she's looking to just get rid of the property ASAP, they're extremely price sensitive. They're not willing to pay. So here's what I'm going to tell you guys to do, right? Number one, you call 3 buyers in the following category. This is the tip, pro tip, and know the demand. Call the biggest landlord in your town who's actively buying and saying, what is a good deal to you? What are you looking for? And they will tell you if they're paying 100 cents on the dollar, 90 cents, 95 cents. Remember, this is a moving target, so we have to call and ask, okay? So you find the demand before you find the supply. Can you guys see how this business gets way easier if you find the demand first before you find the supply? The demand sets the price, then the supply supplies the demand versus you trying to find supply and then trying to figure out the demand, okay? We'll get to some questions a little bit later, but I see the wheels are spinning in your minds, which is cool. Okay, are you loving this? 4% said, no, I'm lost. Okay, I don't know if that's genuine or somebody's just pulling my leg, but 95% of you are giving me some really, really good feedback. Okay, cool. All right, active wholesaling. So if you're gonna participate in an active business, and by the way, wholesaling, flipping, all these things are very much just active businesses, regardless of which one you decide to do, whether you decide to renovate properties and focus on, here's the difference between wholesaling and flipping. Flipping focuses on the ARV number, the after repair. Wholesaling focuses on the FMV number, the fair market value. They're just two different numbers. The two different numbers, if I go back to my previous slide, will indicate a different type of buyer, right? The wholesaler is probably going to sell their deal to the flipper. The flipper is probably going to sell their deal to the landlord or the retail buyer. Do you understand how this works? It's simply a supply chain. You just go one to the next, to the next, to the next, depending on your opportunities, your specialty, your awareness, and etc. So let me help you guys understand how I would approach wholesaling. Number one, I'm going to market for deals. So let me say I'm on Kijiji every day looking for a deal. The only purpose of marketing is to start a conversation. Break down your hops. Listen to me. Don't try to go from marketing to close a deal, because if that's your expectation, it's a false one. It's not going to happen that easily. It's not going to go from I talked to somebody, I made 20 grand. That's not how this business works. The market is far too hot, far too tight to just be throwing darts at a board and expecting them to stick. Nobody's going to sincerely just give you 50 cents on the dollar for a deal because you asked them for it. So let's break this down into sizable chunks. Number one, we go on Kijiji. There's different marketing channels. We'll cover that in the next segment. Your job of marketing is to start a conversation. If you got a conversation started, your marketing's working. Now, if your conversation is, how dare you send me a flyer? Your marketing's still working, okay? The job was to start a conversation, all right? From conversation, we have to generate a lead. Now, this is where most people go wrong here. Most people will say, I can't find any good leads. You actually don't find leads. You create value, which converts a conversation into a lead. These are actually conversion points. Your ability, we just went over this last week, your ability to have the skills of negotiating are the only thing that matter primarily in you getting an actual deal. If you have low skills, if you have low negotiation skills, if you have low assessment skills, if you have low problem solving skills, then you won't get a deal regardless, because you're actually just trying to go for the low hanging fruit, which doesn't usually exist in this hot of a marketplace. The way that I deal, guys, is I create value. That's how you convert a conversation into a lead. You have to show the seller or the realtor, whoever you're talking to, why you're creating more value than the next buyer. This is a value exchange, like any business. If you create value, there'll be an exchange. So I want you to think about this logically. The last time you talked to a seller, talked to an agent, what value did you create? Or did you simply throw a price at the problem? If you simply threw money at the problem, that's not creating value. That's transactional. Once you create value, you're going to go into a conditional contract. Let me repeat myself. You're not going to go into a cash offer because most people truthfully don't have cash. There's a lot of this stuff that gets thrown around where people are throwing cash offers around. And the reason why they throw cash offers, friends, is because they have no skills. They don't create value. So because they can't create any real value in the marketplace or with the seller, they just assume that throwing cash is the equivalent of creating value. Listen to me carefully. Throwing a cash offer does not equal creating value. Cash is not a solution. Cash is cash. So if you throw a price because you don't know how to have a conversation, that's the same thing as you have a child. That child really wants to talk to you and build a relationship, but instead of doing that, you buy them ice cream. Think about it logically. You're assuming that if you buy them ice cream and spend money, they're going to love you as a parent. That's not how this works. We have to actually build rapport and solve these problems before we get to price. Okay? Conditional agreement. Here's the beauty. Once you have a conditional contract, then the next logical hop is to remove the conditions. Okay? You're going to do your due diligence. You're going to get your financing in place. You're going to do all this different stuff. And if you do your job right, you'll actually convert the contract. Are you going to convert every single contract? No. No, you won't. You have to understand that in the business of acquiring deals and wholesaling, you're going to put deals under contract, you're going to do due diligence, and a percentage of those will close. This is a higher level strategy, but we need clarity around this. You need the right intentions, you need the right paperwork, and you definitely need to know how to talk through these things and present your value. If you've done that properly, guys, then you can move on to a firm contract and move on to the close. So the hardest part is right here. It's the lead. It's the lead. From conversation to contract is the hardest part. This is where your skills matter. Most people don't possess the skills because they haven't practiced. So as a result, they can't go from conversation to contract. Most people throw money at it, hoping to go from conversation to close or from conversation to firm. Add 2 more steps and you'll find exactly where you're struggling. It's pretty cool. Thanks, Namit. So your job isn't to create the market, guys. It's to create the marketplace. I'm simply a place where I can solve problems. If somebody comes to me and says, hey, you're a buyer of homes, I am. What needs to happen for us to create a win-win solution here? What kind of value needs to happen here? Do I need to take the property in as-is condition, and what's that worth to you? Do I need to help you move, what have you? What's that worth to you? Do I need to close in 7 days? And if so, what's that worth to you? See, there's always a value exchanged. It's not price, okay? Far too many investors, guys, are throwing darts at a board in a super hot market and frankly never getting a deal, and that's why they get discouraged and they stop. We throw offers at stuff with the hopes that it's going to stick, and I don't use hope ever. I want to work in good faith. Faith is different than hope. Faith is intentional action. Hope is dreaming, okay? Here's where we get stuck. You ready? I'm going to narrow this right down to the one most important psychological issue, which is this. We have an internal fear. In my limiting belief trio, which I talk about a lot, there's the vehicle, there's the external, and then there's the internal, all right? This is where we lose it, is the internal. We're afraid of no, we're afraid of failure, we're really quite lazy, so we don't want to practice the skill, and we don't even know how to practice the skill. We don't even know what skill actually matters. But guys, I need to tell you, your job has a certain level of information and a certain level of skill that you need to have to do whatever job you do now for your income. There's a certain level of skill that you have there. You're not going to walk into real estate investing and use the skills from high school, your communication skills from high school, to make tens of thousands of dollars. You need to build those skills. If you're a natural negotiator and you understand this, you have an advantage. But the beautiful thing about skills is this. It's not about talent. It's about practice. Practice, practice, practice. There is a formula for improving skills. Okay? So far, so good? You guys still with me? All right, I'm going to move on here to the next piece. The rule of 5K. How do we actually evaluate these deals? Number one, I use what I call the rule of 5K, and I want an 80-20 rule, a Pareto principle around figuring out the rehabs. So many people overcomplicate rehabs, making it a finite, very, very specific measurement, and that's incorrect. We're so focused on the details of the property that we fail to realize the value of the deal. So find a quick way to evaluate the property efficiently. Okay, rule of 5,000 works for me. So you can make an assumption that just about everything boils down into 5,000 or increments of 5,000. So here's a question I will ask. Hey, Mr. Seller, on a scale of 1 to 10, what's the condition of the property? 10 being excellent, 1 being a teardown. If they tell you 7, it's a 5. If they tell you 9, it's a 7. Okay? So just drop it down by a couple points and you have a good indication if it's fair, excellent, and poor. If it's in excellent condition, be prepared to spend $5,000. Why? Because people will always present themselves in better light. Okay? And it still is going to need some updating, etc., whatever you need to do. If it's in fair condition in my marketplace, and you can do this in your marketplace, then we're going to go ahead and just assume there's a $15,000 to $20,000 buffer of things that probably need to happen because most homes in my city are in fair condition. If you're in a newer city like a Hamilton or what have you, and the properties are less than 10 years old, then you're going to have a gradient scale of where you need to be with this equation. If it's in poor condition, in my town, it's $40,000 or plus. Okay? So the big ticket items. This is what I'm asking, guys. I don't care about every little nuance. I care about this. Mechanical. Mechanical is summed up as heating, plumbing, and electrical. There's exterior, which includes roofing, windows, and exterior facade. So the facade would be the siding, the brick, whatever kind of exterior is protecting the property from the elements. There's kitchen and bath. I lump that into together, kitchen and bath, because there's a combination of a lot of these pieces in kitchen and bath, including the mechanical system. The flooring is quite extensive in every home, so I'm asking about flooring. There's the paint and decor, right? So the paint, cosmetic, decor, wallpaper, etc. And then number 6 for me is the foundation or basement. So what kind of foundation do we have? How do we deal with this? These to me are the 6 categories that I'm going to bank it in. So I can figure out the condition of the property within a $5,000 window fairly quickly if you have the evaluation skill, and we have some tools for that. So the next thing I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to rank the property. Condition: A, excellent, B for average, C for below average, and D for poor. So if I'm talking with a prospective seller and I get a ranking of 0 to 1 to 10, and I'm going to identify this as an excellent A condition property, then I know which type of buyer, folks, which type of buyer wants an A property. Let's do a poll. Real quick on a poll. Vinny, throw a poll for me. What kind of buyer purchases an A property? Is it a retail buyer? Is it a landlord? Or is it going to be a flipper? Just throw that poll out there. What kind of buyer purchases an A condition property? Or what is the typical buyer of an A condition property? Is it a retail buyer, mom and dad? Is it a landlord who's looking for a long-term hold? Or is it going to be a flipper? Let's throw that in the poll. I'm going to be curious what your answer is there. Okay? All right. Flipping tools. Let me kind of switch over here. Vinny, I'm going to take over the slide. I'm going to help you guys kind of identify this. Let's go through a case study. You guys cool with the case study? I'm going to give some examples here and jump through some stuff. Okay. Beautiful. Who's having a good time? Let me see who's having a good time here. We got a good number of people on the chat. Okay, let me see here. Love the child example. Thank you. Retail, retail, retail. Retail is the appropriate answer. Correct. So the properties that are fully renovated, the properties that are in the best possible condition will appease primarily retail buyers who are willing to pay more. And as a result, they typically go to them. All right. I see some yays. I see some okays. By the way, if it's the first time, say something. Don't hide in the background because it's creepy. And I don't like creeps. Cool? All right. If you're brand new, give me a quick, I'm brand new. And this is helpful. This is good. All right. Daniel Blagrove is chilling in the comments. Okay. He's there for your support. Okay. Awesome, 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 awesome. All right. Let's go through an example. Okay. Got you guys. So let me grab the screen. We're going to lock and load here. Boom, boom, boom. So I just pulled up the MLS. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull up the MLS real quick. Realtor.com, realtor.ca, I should say. All right. You guys should be able to see that. 3, 2, 1, go. Yes. All right. Everybody sees what I see. Okay, cool. So I'm in here. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick search, guys. You can put your city right here. Okay. So I'm just going to put in here Windsor, Ontario. Oh, let me see if it's going to populate for me, guys. Okay, beautiful. I'm in Windsor, Ontario. Now, you can do a couple of things, folks. Over here on the left-hand column, what I like to do is go old to new. Why old to new? I want to understand if the property's been sitting on the market for a little bit of time, there's probably a little bit more motivation than the property that was just listed, okay? So if I'm going to go old to new is one way of looking at the property and scroll through there. The other thing I'm going to do is go low to high. If I can find a cross section between old to new and low to high, and it's got the same couple properties, then I'm going to be able to identify the ones that have been sitting longer that are in the lower price point. So I've done a little bit of homework before we got going here today, and I pulled up this property here. So let me go ahead and get over to this property that I'm going to choose, the one on Crawford. Okay, so let me see here, Cousin Vinny. We're good. Crawford. Okay, you guys should be able to see Crawford. 3, 2, 1. Everybody say yay. Okay, here's the property, $99,000 on Crawford. Now we're going to start identifying what we're looking for here. Okay, guys? So $99,000 on Crawford. Okay, I see there's a lot of new people here. What's up, Ian? Good to have you, man. What's up, newbie Tom? Good to have you here. What's up, Garneet? Good to have you here. Okay, so I'm going to go through this property. Here's what I want you guys to do. Let's do a poll real quick, all right? I'm going to walk you through this property pictures. By the way, I do everything virtual. Guys, I am not going to see anybody's property in the middle of winter and in the middle of shutdown. Real estate is now a digital business. If you decide it is, and if you get the right tools and awareness. So, is this an A for excellence, B for average, C for below average, or D for poor? Let's throw that poll together. I'm just going to walk you through the pictures. A for excellent, B for average, C for below average, or D for poor. I'll give you guys a minute to decide as I scroll. Boo doo 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 boo 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 doo boo 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 doo 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 boo doo boo boo doo doo boo boo doo boo boo boo. A little bit of music there. Okay, A, B, C, or D. I know you guys are digging the jams. All right, cool. All right, who we got? We got some B's, we got some C's. Okay, we got some newbies. The newbie answer came a little bit late. Okay, cool. I'm going to go with the C. Yeah, I know my town pretty good, and this I would call a definite C property. Okay, so in the C property, remember we talked about here in our previous example that we're probably going to be spending in that category of property. Either it's going to be a 30 plus, 40 plus type of renovation, because this property is a little bit defeated, right? So I would classify this even as a sub C. I'm going to go with the C minus type of condition. All right, so far so good. You guys with me? All right, let's pivot over here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to shape over. Boom, boom, okay? And who's on the Cashflow Tribe website on a regular basis? Who's in Cashflow Tribe regular? All right, if you are, by the way, everything is right here. This is where you guys need to be. So I come to Cashflow Tribe. I'm on the website, which, by the way, we have all of these sick calculators that Matt McKeever had built out over a long period of time. So we have these calculators on the left-hand side, and I really like these things because I can save, I can edit, and more recently, I can share with a friend, which I think is pretty killer. So here's what I'm doing. Here's the address, 382 Crawford. I've already punched it in here. We have an auto-populate field, so you just punch the address in. That even gives you a picture on the left-hand side. And I love working in this. It is very cool. So watch this. This is an example for the Wednesday class. Guys, I'm on here every day saving, because you can save all of these and share it with friends. Tell me that's not wicked. Is that awesome or what? Right? So get over here to do all of your homework, to do your research, and to do your evaluation for deals. So here's the picture of the property, okay? First thing I'm going to do, folks, is just line it up to the original one, okay? Does this house look the same as the previous one? I have some pictures. Yes, it does. Okay, so I have the right address. I'm going towards the right deal. All right. Let me go back to calculators real quick. I'm going to click next right here. Okay, and now we're going to get into a renovation calculator. You guys follow me? So let's go and throw some fives at this thing, all right? We're throwing some fives, eh? Okay, so exterior of the property. Before we get into all these different things, and we can go back through the pictures one by one, fair to say, again, multiples of 5. So if it's in poor shape, I mean, if it needs to be repaired or rehab, that would be a $5,000 expense. If it's terrible, then just do 2 5s, okay? So I would say that the windows and exterior of windows and doors, fair to say, and by the way, this breaks it down into labor and materials. So you can get very, very dialed in here. Let's go $2,500 each. By the way, that is how contractors determine the price of things. And many, many years, the way that contractors have determined the cost of labor is by taking the cost of materials and then basically doubling it, right? So if it's $2,500 in materials, it's $2,500 in labor, which brings me to the $5,000 position. So I've got the windows, I've got this, Boom. And you can go item by item, guys, or you can simply just add the expense item on here, which I will do. So I'm just going to go 5,000 times 2. Okay, now I'm at $10,000 cost so far. So I got 5,000 and 5,000 for exterior. Interior, I'm going to get into, and again, this is very dialed in. But if I get to a standard Home Depot kitchen, okay, because I've done dozens and dozens of kitchens, guys, I can do the same assessment. Now, are you going to be exactly on? The interesting part is I did a back test on this about different properties because we've got 90, 100 flips under our belt, okay? And if I back text this, it's very, very close. It's probably one of the most appropriate measures. That's how we came up with the rule of 5. Now, this isn't including high-grade materials and finishes, but I know that this property is in a C-class neighborhood, and it doesn't need a $30,000 kitchen. In fact, a $5,000 kitchen or $10,000 kitchen is going to be more than adequate. So we'll just go and double this thing up here. Let's just go that it's a 5,000 and 5,000. Let me do this number. By the way, helpful? Helpful so far? I think so. Helpful for me, guys. Okay, boom. I got a $10,000 expense. Okay, fantastic. All right. And, you know, we got the kitchen. We got that. We got the interior. And I'm just going to go back up here to the top. And we've got all these different, so we got the roof. I can open up this category. Let's say we're going to do the roof example. Okay, we're going to add that component in here. And I'm just going to go through these different elements and make sure that I'm covered on my exterior. I've got my roof. I've got my deck. I've got my garage. Okay, cool. All right, so far so good. I got that line item expense. We got the interior. Okay, HVAC. More than likely, we're going to require probably a furnace or at least a mechanical system, so I can do the rule of 10 times 2. Okay, so we'll just put that into that category. All right, and I'm going to move on here. And again, we can get very dialed in. We'll do this together more on the homework section. I'm going to click next 2 times. And let me see if it just takes me back 1 second. Okay, I did not save accordingly. Okay, we should be good now. Let me see what I did here. Okay, so 5, 10, 15. So let me just grab this here. So 10, 20, I've got here 25, 35, $40,000 in total expenditures on this property. So, and I think if I actually go back to my saving, I should do that. So if I go back now to additional calculators, I've got a $45,000 expense, okay? And now I can go back and try to figure out what this deal is gonna be. So I can do a max allowable offer right here. And again, don't want to get too crazy on the hop, but you really, really need to focus on using these calculators to build out your deals here because it's super, super valuable. So let me pull up this final summary real quick, guys. Okay, hold on a second. There it is, max allowable calculator. Okay, and I think I'm, there we go. I need to save this thing. Okay. So before I go on too far here, let me pull back to you guys for a second. All right. Where are you guys? Couple different tabs. Okay, there's a lot of questions are coming in. Yeah, the calculators are really easy. So you got a $40,000 repair on this thing. Now what we need to do is go, which kind of market are we going to be sending this deal to, guys? Which type of market? Do you think it's going to go to the A, B, C, or D? Is this property going to likely go to a flipper? Is it likely going to go to a landlord? Is it likely going to go to a retail buyer? Or would you keep this thing for yourself? That's the other option, assuming you're going to keep the real estate for long term. I'm going to say that more than likely, this is going to be a retail, it's going to be a flipping type of property. We've got approximately $40,000 in renovations. So I'm going to now go to the investor and I'm going to develop my thesis and say, okay, what are you buying flips at? This thing is approximately 40 grand in work. All right, where do you need to be under market value? Because now they're looking at the ARV, the after repair value, as their primary justifying number, not so much the fair market value. So Ramona says the landlord, some landlords, Ramona, will buy this and probably even rent it as is. That's a whole different conversation for another day. But I think more than likely this is going to that flipper individual who like really wants the property in the C-class neighborhood, wants to flip it back out, and they may actually flip it to the landlord. Okay, Vinny, let's pull up the slides again here real quick. Beautiful. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. So time for a little self-audit. Where are you with this? I'm going to go back to my polls, or you guys can use the chat. Okay. Okay, by the way, the previous one said B, C. Okay, correct. Where are you with this? Are you in seeking information phase? Are you in I'm doing my first deal phase? Are you in, I need to do more deals because I've done my first deal? Or are you more in a business builder phase? Which one is the most appropriate for you guys? Just let me know, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Throw it in the comments. That's really, really helpful. And we'll get to some Q&A shortly. All right. Here's what we're going to do. What I want you guys to do is the homework. There's a big emphasis on practicing here. Can you guys see that if you practice this and you practice the evaluation and you go through at least a few of these examples, how you can gain clarity on how to do this business a lot easier? Does everybody see that? Does everybody see how this becomes a lot easier? Okay, cool. We're all on the same page here. Because if we can do that, folks, it's going to be so much easier for us to start like moving in this business with clarity versus like, just kind of putzing around and then we really don't know what we're doing or where we're going with this whole thing. Because I can see a lot of people getting really stuck on that. Okay, so let me just pull this up real quick. So let's go over the homework, what we're going to do. Now, before I do that, guys, what I'm going to do here real quick is I'm going to pull back just a second, and I want to touch on one point before we get into homework and before we get into everything else. So I'm just going to grab the screen here real quick, Vin, okay? By the way, I love this screen share stuff. It is very, very helpful. Okay, so, and 3, 2, 1, go. So I'm going to go back here to my wholesale profit calculator, and this is the way I want you guys to do this. First of all, we're trying to figure out the purchase price, but like I told you, let's go back and identify the demand before the supply, okay? So what we can do is the after repair value usually is determined by comparable sales. So if you take 3 properties that have sold in that general area, remember, because now this is a property going to the retail buyer, other than this crazy ass market, usually they're fairly easy to understand what they're willing to pay because they kind of base things on what other for. But if we go back while we're here and we go, it's going to cost us $40K. All right. If I'm going to take the fair assessed value here on this thing, after repair value, let's say it's 130 based on work. If we have a gut feeling or we have an understanding because we've talked with the seller in the conversation, we can obtain it for about 100,000. Let's even assume that there's going to be, again, we're not really concerned about the closing cost too much because essentially we haven't really closed on the property. Let's assume we've actually done some marketing and spent some money to put this deal together, and then we can actually go forward. Boom, boom, boom. And we can identify here kind of where we're at. So the purchase price 100, after repair is 130. We can expect, this doesn't work here. I put it wrong thing. We can expect here. So purchase price 100, after repair is 130. There's a $20,000 margin. Oh, I need to change this into negatives. Yeah. So if there's actually this, then now we can look at it and go, well, listen, this is a $40,000 rehab. If the ARV is 130 minus that, we're actually going to lose money on this deal fairly quickly. So we have to start identifying, okay, well, what can we really buy this thing for? So I'm going to replace this with a $70,000 purchase. Okay. So now we have an expected profit here of $19,000. So you can play with this fairly aggressively, but my advice to you guys is understand the role of the flipper. We have to understand that they're in it to make money. If they can't make money in their job of flipping the property and we're just throwing numbers together, then we're going to get stuck. So we need to make sure that, number one, they know what they're willing to buy at because they understand what they're willing to sell at. They're taking a greater gamble because they have to rehab the property, put it on the market, and hope to get the right buyer. However, the flipper has one leverage point that we, as the business owner of just buying the property, don't. They have the leverage of doing more or less work. You see, they can replace this quality of work. They can choose to not do a roof. They can choose to change out the furnace or not. So they can adjust for quality to adjust for price on the back end. All right. So let's get into the homework phase. And then, by the way, if you missed the previous homework, I'm going to give you a chance to get completely caught up here in about 2 seconds. So previous homework that we did was the SMART goal sheet, the creating the personal roadmap, which was really, really good. We did a PI index test. Okay. And we actually practiced the conversations. We did this in a small room of 8 people. Me, Danny B, and 8 people did this in a small homework session. So I'm going to give you a chance to do some homework here together. I want you to evaluate 3. Who's with me here? Who's going to use the calculator and evaluate at least 3 deals? 3 deals. That's all I need you to do. 3 deal evaluations. And I want you to just practice and writing 10 offers, which we'll get to that piece as well. But 3 deals. Can I get you guys to commit to that as homework number 1, primary? Okay, let me see who's going to do it. I'll throw it up here, right here, right here. Okay, keep going. Let me see. There's a whole bunch of you guys on this call. All right, beautiful. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a group homework session for everybody in Cashflow Tribe. Okay, all you need to do is make sure that you just have access to premium account. We're going to evaluate deals together. We're going to write offers together. And everybody who's here is going to get access to the Landlord Starter Kit. Okay, but I've got a few things that are really valuable in premium. The purchase and sale agreements. Okay, that's what we have as a course. It's available right now to go and learn how to write the paperwork. How to make 5K using real estate investing is a fantastic course in premium, because people say, what's the difference between basic and premium? Basic is coming into the environment and having very limited resources. It's completely free. You get to see the community and trial it out. Premium is like, okay, I'm really ready to actually do this. The actual writing contract course, we have 2 of them, and they're very, very detailed. There's about 6 hours of training. So it's actually in premium. In fact, most of the training, resources, and tools that you want are right in premium. You simply just need a premium account. How to analyze the real estate market is another very important concept that we have to understand if the market's moving up, down, sideways, what have you. So anybody who wants to come do homework with us, I'm going to set you guys up for that homework session on Friday. All right, we're going to be recording all that as well. But also what's going to happen is the SMART goal sheet that we had, I'm going to give you guys all the stuff that you missed on the last couple of weeks. So there's a SMART goal sheet. There's the roadmap creator tool. There's the KPI tracker. Okay. There's the seller scripts, because we did a seller script piece. There's the negotiation scripts, because we actually practiced last week. We practiced role playing as a small group. We did the PI test and the property evaluation. So let me bring on Danny B here. Danny B is going to give us a little bit more homework. Danny B is my TA. He is my teacher's assistant. All right.
Come on, man.
He's also my teacher's pet. All right. He's a good dude. I love Danny B. So Danny, set us up with the homework for everybody who needs to grab the link and go from there while I grab a quick drink of water. Is this helpful? You guys good?
Of course. Okay, cool. Well, first of all, let's just put in the chat out of 10. I want to see out of 10. Let me know how this training helped. 0, it absolutely gave me 0. 10 is exactly what I needed. Let me see in the chat how this is, so we can get some feedback, because we're doing a whole 12-week masterclass. We're in week 3, so we got 9 more to go. I remember when Ben was doing his podcast last year, he was saying 9. We got 9 more to go in the coming weeks. And so, all right, we got some 10s. That's fantastic. We want to know we're bringing you value. So the reason why we say this is because we believe every single person can complete their first deal if they focus on completing these hops that we just went through, along with the hops that we will go through in the coming weeks. So if you're looking for the knowledge and the support, you need to take the next step in your investing journey. Just grab a premium membership and come hang with Ben and I for the call. Listen, you're going to understand how to calculate comparables. If you're looking at a property that you're looking to purchase and you see a house down the street and it is just down the street, so it's close by, but it has 3 more bathrooms, 1 extra bathroom, it's not a comparable. If it's the exact house that you're looking for to compare it with the bedrooms and bathrooms, it has the same finish, but it's across the city, it's not a comparable. So we're going to show you how to analyze deals so you know exactly how to put in offers. And speaking about offers, we want to give you the confidence to make offers, because it's so important that when we're making offers, we're not gambling or we're just taking chances. We're taking calculated risks with the education and understanding of how to buy a real estate for the purposes of making a profit. Remember, we are real estate investors. We're not looking to purchase property like a mom and pop. We're looking to purchase properties for the purpose of growing our investments, right? And so learn to write an offer with confidence, understand how to evaluate renovation costs, closing costs, realtor cost, whatever cost you want to talk about. Matt McKeever talks a lot about in his class, when you're a beginner, there's even a stupid tax cost that you want to put. In the event that you make a mistake, he calculates when he first started a stupid tax. If he makes a mistake, let me put an extra $5,000 just in the event I do something silly. I can still cover my butt. We're talking about doing things in a very meticulous, calculated way so it won't stop us from getting our first deal, We're getting into a place of analysis paralysis, right? And then listen, Ben just went through the best calculator, the best real estate calculator online. I challenge every single one of you on this call. If you find a better real estate calculator, let us know, because we are so confident that whatever deal you need to run through, you can do it through our calculators. And so this is exactly how I did my first deal, guys. I learned the steps. I spoke to sellers. I had conversations. I looked to add value. I understood their pain points. I looked to solve those pain points in exchange for equity. And here's the thing, right? Especially when we're talking about all these different strategies. One of the things that I know when talking to a lot of different investors, the reason why they stop is because they tried one strategy and they put all their eggs into that one basket and it didn't work. So they said real estate investing doesn't work. So I know the reality is what Ben was mentioning here, when we're looking through these different calculators and we're looking at these different strategies, whether it's flipping, wholesaling, you're looking to do a hotel, there are several different things that we can deploy as an investor. I want you to know this. You are not simply a wholesaler or simply a landlord or simply a flipper. You are a real estate investor who knows the different strategies to deploy based on the calculations we run. Isn't that right, Ben?
That's right, man. Okay, so let me show you guys a couple options here of what you guys can do, especially if you're brand new. Here's the cash flow chart link that we just dropped for you guys. You got to have two options for joining premium. If you want to go on the month by month, it's $59 a month to join premium, or we have 5 weekly trainings. Those are happening right now. Actually, there's trainings going on. There's a whole bunch of course catalog. We're doing the homework together on Friday. Only attainable through here, by the way. It's a private homework session. It's not going to be publicly broadcasted. If you want to commit for at least the next 12 months to your growth, we're doing a really cool mastermind experience. It's a 2-day event. We just did one this weekend. It was pretty awesome. Anybody who wants to commit for a year of Cash Flow Tribe, we're literally going to give you a $499 event, absolutely included in that for free. So if you've been trying to come to an event and you're trying to be in Cash Flow Tribe, there's actually a really, really cool offer today. It's only for you guys that are on this call. Right here, it's $588 a year, but you get $499 off the next event, which is pretty cool. So what is that? That's like $90 for the entire annual subscription. So anyways, if you want to come join me on Friday, just grab one of these two links so we can clarify it. And we'll love to see you guys there for the homework session, just for you guys that are here, because we think, honestly, it takes a little bit of hand-holding. So I get it. A little bit of hand-holding so that you can just get to your next step. Up until now, guys, we've been giving you all these courses and content and stuff, and maybe like you show up and you're like, I'm a little lost. There's a lot of stuff you guys have going on. There's the forums and all this other kind of stuff. So like for $59 a month, you get like ridiculous access to all kinds of tools and resources, and that's why we're putting this together. And if you want to commit now, that's fine. So there's two different types of people. There's if you're in the education seeking and you're not really ready to buy a house, and you're not really like ready to commit to this, then you can get a free membership to Tribe. Most of you guys have one, cashflowtribe.com. But if you guys want to commit to this, this is by far the best time for you to take advantage of this offer, and that's why we're putting it together here for you. So Danny B, let's take some Q&A, brother. If you can coordinate on this, and the link is here for you guys. We'll grab some Q&A so we can connect with you guys and get some done. So let's get the first question, man. We'll take some Q&A next.
There's one question I got here. He said, so what are we going to learn on the Friday if I sign up? Listen, this is what you're going to learn. You're going to learn the homework that we're going through on this from this call, right? Talking about how to analyze properties, right? Ben just went through the calculator and understanding how to evaluate deals. And we're also going to go through parts of how to actually write the offer. Right. And so this is the homework. So grab that premium membership. We're going to be right there with you, taking you step by step through this hot process.
Yeah, I think the best way to explain it to you guys is we're just going to hang out on a Zoom call with access to the website. We're going to evaluate deals together. We're going to write the offers together. Like all the tools are on the site, but I find that most people get lost or nervous or a little scared or what have you. So instead of being intimidated because you're brand new to the community of over 2,000 people, right? There's 2,300 total members here. There's only 638 premium members with this level of access. We're basically going to hang out with you. Last time we hung out, I think it was an hour and a half. We went over the questions. It's a small room. A lot of you guys are already Tribe members, so that's great. But for those of you that are making a decision tonight, you'll just be in a room, get to ask tough questions, get to know who you are, which is cool, get to figure out exactly where you're at in your journey, and just move you forward. That's what this whole HOP series is about, is understanding where you're at today. Instead of trying to eat the whole elephant right away, where are you at today? Where do you need to go today? And I think the best way we can serve you is giving you access to all the tools, and the best way to do that is to put you in a premium. Cool? All right, Daniel, let's keep grabbing the other questions here, brother. And
the next question is from Andrea. She said, is the Friday meeting via Facebook? So Andrea, it'll be on a special Zoom call that will be sent out after this meeting. So for those who are looking to grab a premium membership, just click the link and get signed up. That way we can get you that email link with the Zoom call, which will be happening on Friday. It will be happening at 7 o'clock, I believe. Is that right, Ben?
That's correct, my brother. That is correct. All right. And then, so what we're going to do is like keep going on this stuff. If you're a little bit late to the party, you missed the first couple weeks, that's totally cool. What I'm going to do is send you guys out the previous recordings. In fact, everybody in premium, well, here's what I want you to do. If you're in premium and you're trying to figure out like what you're doing because you're already a premium member, just shoot me a message over on the Cashflow Tribe website. Just shoot me a DM on that site, which, by the way, guys, we have a private, it's a whole community there where we connect with each other. It's like Facebook, but for investors. So you're not going to watch cat videos because we don't have that, but we have actual investors doing deals, connecting with each other. So feel free to shoot me a message on the connection with inside the website, which is where we're doing all of our training and all of our support. Awesome. Love it, love it, love it. Daniel, let's take a couple more. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. One really good question here was, Ben, what is the difference between a C property and a C neighborhood?
Great question. Okay, so condition of property and condition of the area. So a lot of people, for me, I prefer to buy in C to B class areas, which are predominantly entry-level home areas. So like where you would move if you got married tomorrow and wanted to buy your first property. And then also in that rental segment. A D area to me is like a war zone. So I'm not looking for D area properties. The condition of the property is also ranked A, B, C, D. So I would prefer, for me, to buy the property with the most amount of value and possible appreciation through renovations. So I'd like to buy the C and B properties in a B location. I know this should probably be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then A, B, C, D to make it easier, but we kind of use the same ranking here. So if I take the condition, the other way you can do this is go, this is a 1 out of 10, this is a 4 condition in a B area. And then you can start identifying what kind of properties and neighborhoods you want to deal with. It's not always about can you make money in real estate. A lot of times it's how you make money. Like you can rather be a landlord and make $100 a month and run around crazy all day because you have the worst tenants in the worst area, or you can make $100 a month being in a better property in a better neighborhood with a different type of tenancy. Okay, make sense? All right, pretty cool. Any advice for finding deals for smaller cities? Yeah, tons of advice. Tons of advice for finding deals for smaller cities. Starting with a marketing campaign, what I'd really recommend is if you're brand new to Tribe or you're trying to figure out premium, definitely get to the next intensive. We have these 4-hour intensives and we have 2-day intensives. So this mastermind, the one that's coming up here, by the way, for those of you guys that are joining us for the annual membership, we're going to be covering that exact thing on where to find deals. So it's a little bit more involved depending how aggressive you want to go, right? So there's direct to seller campaigns. There's going to be referrals. There's going to be different networks that you can get into. I really recommend you get into Cashflow Tribe, find people that are active wholesalers within the smaller cities, and then I would go to them first to try to obtain those deals, okay? So there's a few different thoughts I have on that. All right, I see we're out of time. Hey, appreciate having everybody here. If you haven't clicked the link, go ahead and give it a quick click. Join us. Danny B and myself are glad to connect with you guys and see you on Friday, and we'll be sharing out this recording and everything else to you guys. Cousin Vinny, thank you, man, for setting everything up. Daniel, the floor is yours, my friend, to close out for the day. Or not. Daniel's not working anymore, so Daniel is not here today. All right, guys, have a beautiful day. So nice connecting with you guys. Do me a solid. Go ahead and shoot me a message on the Facebook Tribe, on the Cashflow Tribe portal on our own website, and go ahead and drop me a review there. Go ahead and let me know in the news feed on Cashflow Tribe website how you enjoyed today and how we can keep helping you guys develop and grow. I think we lost Daniel, but it's all good. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you guys soon. Stay humble, everybody. Cheers.
Before I joined Cashflow Tribe, I would go to these meetups and nothing really changed. Like there was no accountability, which is one thing that's really core to Cashflow Tribe. Not only did you have this intense sense of community, but you also had accountability.
I was working for somebody else that was not me. Okay, this 9 to 5 rat race that I'm trapped in, I don't like it. I know something is bigger there for me.
Cashflow Tribe has been some serious practitioner information that I was able to tap into. I knew I needed to take it to a higher level.
Cashflow Tribe was Canadian, and that's what really kind of moved me more towards them. This is exactly the kind of group and people that I want to be part of.
If somebody's losing in one of my deals, I don't want to do a deal. If I cannot have my partners to win on the deal as well, I don't want the deal.
My name is Douglas.
My name is Tish.
My name is Alex, and I am.
And I am.
And I'm Cashflow Tribe.
Cashflow Tribe.
Cashflow Tribe. Huh.